are here. This is a house that I didn't do anything to the back of this, but we're going to be redoing the living room. I have done some architectural stuff to this house. I'll show you. There used to be a very closed-in stair here that I think it's like started here and winded its way up, and so you literally walked into this beautiful leaded glass front door and just started up the stairs. And so we wanted to make a more generous entry hall, and so we created that bay window up there for the stair. And now they have room for a chest in the mirror and a good bit of space when you walk in. And we also added this fun little powder room with the Huntsloam bunnies on it, and this cute little sink right up under the stairs. So that worked really well and gave them the entry in the powder room they needed. And then this room, which looks out onto the front porch, we added this great little sunroom. And there was a little detail on the top of the house that had this really pretty fan window. So I used that detail as the transom lights on top of all these pretty windows. So it became this really pretty sunroom with all of the pretty light in the windows. So that was fun. So we did that, and then we also added these French doors so that this was kind of closed in. I think there may have been a window here, but this allows them then to have access out to their pool. So it really helped, and we also added a cabana in the back. So little by little, we've been doing some things. And this had already been done, but the owners called me and said they wanted to redo their living room. So this is mainly an interior design project, but as always, I look at the architecture. So we started looking at these bookcases, and we're going to completely revamp this bookcase wall and then change out all the furniture. The kids are getting a little older, so they don't need this little play table. So we're going to do more of a adult game table with some nice comfy chairs, and we're going to put a sectional in here and some pretty curtains, and we've got a great idea about wallpaper and the ceiling color and the bookcase color. So we'll go back to the office in a little bit and I'll show you through the design. Okay, so after I saw the existing conditions of the living room, I came back, drew up the floor plan, and started thinking about what we should place where. So I wanted to make the fireplace a main focal point with the TV above like they already had. But I really didn't like the current built-ins, so I started thinking about different ways that we could do the built-ins and still give them enough storage for all their arts and crafts and games and stuff they already had in the space. So when I looked at the built-ins, I thought it would be pretty to redo them and not do so much open shelving, and instead to hide all of their stuff and create drawers and cabinets, which you can see here. So I drew an elevation. I also created these panels up above that we can create these sconces and put the sconces on. And then here you see the TV where we've got molding around it, and we'll do a new fireplace either out of wood or out of marble. I was thinking we could put some outlets in these drawers so that they could open the drawers and then put their iPhones and iPads in the drawers quickly and easily with outlets to be able to charge them up for the night. I wanted to put a big comfy sectional that they could have lots of people over and watch games and whatnot, as opposed to have movie night with the whole family. So this sectional is about 10 feet by 10 feet. Put a big nice coffee table, put a couple of stools right here for extra seating. And then I really wanted to do an Eames chair, which is a super comfortable recliner, which is very, it's kind of mid-century modern, but it's a super classic piece. And I thought that would be nice to put in the corner here to anchor it. And then behind the sectional, to break up the room, put a console with a couple of lamps on it, a couple more benches under the console, and then at the rear, put a sort of game table with 4 big, nice, comfy chairs, not dining chairs by any means, where people can lounge, watch TV, play games, or also a place to sit and have some snacks. And then underneath the window right here, we'd also put a little bench. This is the pair of sliding doors that leads out to the porch, and then we would do curtain treatments all the way around the room. So that seemed to really work as a floor plan. Oh, I almost forgot one really important piece, which is to create a rug which goes the total length of the room, as opposed to what they have now, which is a rug that stops right about here and cuts off the length of the room. So this would really help create continuity in the room and make it one big space. And also, as always, I'm trying to kind of fix some architecture. So I actually thought, even though a lot of times you want big open space, that we'd close in this opening just a tad to make this a little more cozy, and also to continue the wallpaper that started my whole design for the actual aesthetic of this room beyond the floor plan. So that wallpaper, it's a wallpaper by Ronald Redding, and it's so beautiful. It's kind of a chinoiserie type thing, but it's in really, really neutral tones. Here you can see a bigger picture of it. And you've got this beautiful bamboo, you have the birds, you have the flowers. And so I thought this would be really beautiful as it's at the back of the house with the room that kind of juts out into the yard, and that we could create this kind of environment and this feeling around the room in this really soft way, so that you get this wallpaper that wraps around these pieces. So I thought a great juxtaposition to that would be to paint the built-ins a beautiful green color, as well as the ceiling, and then playing with curtains as kind of the next layer. And so in the curtains, I looked at this beautiful Pierre Frey wallpaper that kind of was a different dimension of foliage than the wallpaper itself. So here you can see that beautiful pattern, which just brings so much depth and color to the space. But I didn't want too much of it, as in this rendering that you're seeing right here, right? And I wanted to just kind of have these smaller panels of it and break it up. So what I brought in was thinking that we'd have two side panels of this beautiful fabric, and then in the middle of it, we would have this really sheer stripe that would allow some light through. So we're using this brown and white stripe by Schumacher as kind of the internal panel, and trimming that out with kind of this lime green trim. So I kind of figured the curtains out, and then the next place I tried to figure out was the sectional. This is a really elementary drawing of the sectional. We're going to upholster it in this beautiful Schumacher velvet, which is this antique strié velvet, which has this kind of has like a green khaki background with these brown stripes to it. But of course, when you see it in whole, it really just kind of blends together as one fabric. But the other thing I like about it is it's not a solid. And when you have a variation like this, it really helps to deal with dirt and stains and things like that, because it's got some variation in it. So that's kind of a little important trick. And then we're going to pipe it, since it's a custom sofa, in again this beautiful, this is another Schumacher, it's called Rocky Velvet, and it's in the color pear. So it gives that kind of pop. Okay, so that's the sofa. Yeah.
That'll give you an idea.
Yeah, that's gonna look amazing. So then from there, I started thinking about pieces of furniture, and I loved bringing in this kind of burgundy color within the scheme. So you kind of have the greens, the browns, and then the burgundy just really makes it pop. So that is a fabric that is called Baku, if I'm saying that right. And it's another Pierre Frey, and it's this beautiful geometric print. So we looked at bringing in these rattan chairs. They're super comfortable. It's a rattan chair in this beautiful kind of wash gray. I loved the vertical lines of it, the clean lines of the chair. So that burgundy is going to look really beautiful here. And then as a game table, my friend Adrian, who has malachite, had this amazing antique game table, which you can see here in black, and has kind of these gold stars, which picks up the gold colors of the wallpaper. and I actually took it over to the house and tried it out, and the chairs seemed to go well with it. We had tried another table and it just wasn't right, and I love the hint of the black in it. So as you can see here, the chairs came in. We're still in the old living room, but I took the chairs and the game table and set them up in the space to make sure it would actually work. And I was super happy about it. You can see that I was holding up the curtains to make sure that that would work up against the wallpaper as well. So right when it's hard to look at it on this little 11 by 17 sheet that I get everything all pinned up on, but when you get away from it and you actually see it, it all starts working together. And then I wanted to get a console table, and I found this great console table from a company that's new to me, which is called Society Social, and it's really great. So we ordered this beautiful console table, and there might be a bit of a video showing Melina and I trying to unwrap it because it was super heavy and it came in a big box. But what I love about it is it comes in this grass cloth wrap, and we just ordered it in the natural, but you can get it in a lot of different colors. So I love this company for the customization that you can lend to it. So that's the console behind the couch, and then started playing around with maybe some little benches. And on the console, you might remember at the antique store, I found a little swan. It wasn't this exact one, but it was a lot like it. And this is a lamp. We actually went to the store. It didn't quite work, but I'm keeping it on the mood board for now because I know I want to find two really beautiful lamps that give some height. We're going to have a lamp, the swan, and the lamp, and it kind of breaks everything up. I've got everything on axis here with the fireplace. And so since the console table isn't going to end up actually centered on the whole back of the sectional, I'm going to use a plant right there to try to mitigate that issue, right? So here you can see I'm kind of bringing in a fiddle plant. So finally, back over to the sectional. So this is the Eames chair, which I just love. So I'm not sure exactly what leather we're going to pick, but you can see it comes in lots of different leather colors. I think there's like over 100, and you can pick the color of the wood. So we're going to be working on this piece, but it's just an absolute classic and really pretty. And then I wanted to do something really cool and really kind of like weigh the central space of the room with the coffee table, and found this beautiful travertine coffee table at Restoration Hardware. So you can see it right here, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. So it was all coming together. I'm absolutely loving it. And the final touch was just some throw pillows, and you can see it's kind of tying it all together. So anyway, I hope this gives you guys some ideas for your own living room, and you may love it, you may hate it, but again, I hope it just gives you a little bit of something to work with. All right, thanks for watching, y'all.